Yo people, Jeff here, back again with another subscriber question. Actually this question came from my Instagram. Earlier this week I asked subscribers, or my followers rather, what video topics they would have preferred to see me address, and I got some responses which were really interesting. Topics that I honestly would not have thought people might have wanted a response on, but they made for interesting topics, to be honest. So this question was asked by a female follower, and she asked, what is men's opinion or views on women with stretch marks, cellulite, and men's views on women wearing makeup? Alright, so let's start with these stretch marks. To be quite honest, to me and most other guys I've talked about before, it's not that big of a deal. Some men actually like stretch marks, so it really depends like where the stretch marks are located. Some people might have stretch marks on their hips or their butt. That's actually attractive to some men. Some people might have stretch marks, if they've had children. If you are the mother of a man's children, then I don't really see that being that big of a problem. You bore that man's child, so for most men it's not really that big of a problem. Obviously you know that there will be outliers, just like anything else in life. There might be some people that absolutely don't like to see it, but for the most part that is a normal repercussion in everyday life. I have stretch marks because I've been big and small at some point in my life, so it's pretty normal. I've heard women stress about it before. I generally find women are much more critical of themselves and other women than men usually are, because to us that's mostly natural. Alright, so the next one is cellulite. Again, it really comes down to the individual. So for instance, if you have a man that likes slim or petite women, he might not necessarily like to see a woman with cellulite. Generally you wouldn't see slim women with cellulite, but it is possible because they have persons with skinny fat body types, so it is possible. But if you have a man that likes thick women or thick-thighed women, that would generally come with some cellulite. Yes, there are women who have a very high degree of muscle tone and still manage to be thick, but for the majority, that also generally comes with a little bit of cellulite. This is not an excuse to not take care of your health and not engage in physical fitness and physical activity, but for the most part that is not too big of an issue either. For instance, if you have a man that likes big women, then you know that that's something that comes with the territory. If you like big women, and they have body fat on them, then you would also expect that comes with cellulite. So again, that comes down to preference for the most part, and is not too big of a deal for most men within reason. Alright, now makeup. This one is a little individual. Most guys I've talked to prefer not too much makeup, and it really kind of depends on the circumstances. So for instance, generally I don't really prefer too much makeup. Like if you go to the store, or if you just go meet up, maybe just a little bit of lip gloss and your hair nicely done is pretty good for most men. From the discussions I've had, that has been the general consensus. But like if it is we're going out to dinner or going to an event, then you being made up is like adding that extra wow factor. Is something that you don't see all the time. So when you do see it, it has that much more of an impact. Um, so yeah, for those types of occasions, like being fully made up and dressed up does help to, like, really make the occasion that much more special. Um, but generally, outside of that, the most I really look for is like a girl to keep her hair nice and neat and maybe a little lip gloss. I know other guys have said so as well. And then, as usual, they have outliers who might like to see women fully made up all the time. Um, then you have men that might like natural hair, men that might like, weave and those sort of things. So across the board, there is generally persons who have their own taste. It's the same with women. It's got some women that don't like men with beard, and there are women that like men with beard, women that like men with muscle, women that don't like men with muscle. It comes down to individual taste up to a certain point, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not everybody's going to like you. Then there will be some people who like you specifically how you look. There is literally some person for every type and variation. I think that's the best way I can answer your question. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially the ladies. What do you think about, what do you think about your peers wearing makeup? I know women tend to generally, check other women's makeup. And especially fellas, comment and let me know what your thoughts are as well, because it's clearly something women have thought about. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will look forward to answering more of your questions.